So dear students, I hope you all are good at your home. Enjoy करते रहिए और घर पे अच्छे से पढ़ाई करते रहिए. So dear friends, in our previous lecture, we have studied about the introduction of Euclid's geometry, which is your 5th chapter of NCERT textbook, class 9th mathematics. In this, we have read few definitions of Euclid's, why Euclids are introduced, why it is very famous in geometric part, this Euclid's geometry, why it is very famous, because in this the basic terms of geometry we are learning, right? So few Euclid's definitions we have read, as we have discussed that there, that if you are defining a term, so you need to define the another terms. So same as by defining one term, you will get a long chain of definitions. But Euclid has given few undefined terms which need not to be defined. In this, first of all, for undefined terms, he told that in Euclid's geometry, a point, a line, a plane and a surface, they are called undefined terms. Right, friends? So few things in this. He has given the definition of theorem. Theorem is the assumptions. Theorem is what? It is assumptions, or you can say it is statement. The assumptions which are to be proved is called theorem. Means वो स्टेटमेंट जिसको हम प्रूव करते हैं वही थ्योरम्स कहलाते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल पाइथागोरस थ्योरम, बेसिक प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी थ्योरम, एंगल बाइसेक्टर थ्योरम, थ्योरम्स रिलेटेड टू सिमिलर ट्रायंगल्स, राइट? सो they all are the examples of theorem. So once again you understand what is theorem. The assumptions means the statement which are to be proved, जिसको हम प्रूव करते हैं वो थ्योरम्स कहलाते हैं. बट द axioms and postulates, they are just opposite to the theorems. Theorems are to be proved, but the assumptions which are not to be proved are called axioms and postulate, right? So here, as we have discussed already, the difference between axioms and postulate, axiom और postulate के difference को हम समझ चुके हैं. What are the main difference? Actually they both are the same sense. दोनों का meaning same है, but a little bit different in these two terms, axioms and postulate. This you have to understand. What postulates? Actually these axioms and postulates, they both are universal truth. They are universal truth. That's why the assumptions which are not to be proved, इसको प्रूव नहीं किया जाता, ये ऑलरेडी प्रूव्ड होते हैं, ये यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ होते हैं, ये हमेशा सत्य होते हैं. दैट्स वाई दे आर नॉट टू बी प्रूव्ड. एंड इसका डिटेल में एक्सप्लेनेशन हम आपके प्रीवियस लेक्चर में दे चुके हैं. ओके, सो नाउ the main common difference between the postulate and axioms, postulates are assumptions for geometry only. postulate या statement या universal truth सिर्फ geometry के लिए जो यूज होते हैं वो postulates कहलाते हैं. but for the axioms they are for common notions, ये सब के लिए यूज होते हैं. that is called axioms. Few axioms we have read. Let us take a brief introduction in this lecture of Euclid's axioms also. He has given here in your textbook the 7 axioms that we have explained already. हमने आपको इसको fully explain भी किया है. आज हम आपको एक छोटा सा एक brief introduction देते हैं Euclid's axioms का. He has given few axioms. First, things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. Means the things, two things, they both are equal to one another. the things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another, then both the things जो equal थे वो एक दूसरे से equal होंगे, right? Second axiom is given, if equals are added to equals then wholes are equal. हमने आपको प्रीवियस लेक्चर में इसका ब्रॉड एक्सप्लेनेशन बताया है. आपको अगर नहीं समझ में आता है तो आप क्वेश्चन व्हाट्सएप कीजिएगा, जिससे कि हमें भी ये समझ में आए कि आपको ये एक्सियम्स के मीनिंग आपको समझ में आए हैं कि नहीं. सो द सेकेंड एक्सियम इज गिवन व्हाट, इफ इक्वल्स आर एडेड टू इक्वल्स. किसी तो इक्वल क्वांटिटी में इक्वल क्वांटिटी ऐड की जाती है तो एडेंड भी क्या होता है, इक्वल होता है, देन होल्स आर इक्वल, राइट? ओके, नेक्स्ट वी हैव रेड द इक्वल्स आर सब्ट्रैक्टेड फ्रॉम इक्वल्स देन रिमाइंडर्स आर इक्वल. From equal quantities, if you are subtracting the equal quantities, then remainders are also equal, right? The fourth, the things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. इसको आपको the principle of superposition के भी नाम से बताया था हमने. If you have learned then, अगर आपको याद होगा, so this is called principle of superposition. What? Superposition. Which one? This fourth axiom, things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Two objects, they both are coincide to each other, then they are equal to one another, and this is also called the principle of superposition. राइट? ओके, नेक्स्ट फिफ्थ पे आते हैं, द होल्स आर ग्रेटर देन द पार्ट. द होल्स आर ग्रेटर देन द पार्ट. हमेशा पार्ट होल क्वांटिटी से छोटा होता है, या फिर हमेशा होल पार्ट उसके पार्ट से बड़ा होता है. और इसका भी नाम आपको बताया था, दिस इज़ द रूल ऑफ ग्रेटर देन. इसको आपको ग्रेटर देन के नाम से बताया था, कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ग्रेटर देन. क्लियर हुआ दोस्तों? ओके, नेक्स्ट सिक्स्थ एक्सियम इज थिंग्स विच आर डबल ऑफ द सेम थिंग्स आर इक्वल टू अनदर. कोई इक्वल थिंग्स है, इफ यू आर डबलिंग बोथ द थिंग्स देन दे आर ऑल्सो इक्वल. सिमिलरली जस्ट अपोजिट ऑफ दिस, द सेवेंथ इज गिवन, थिंग्स विच हैव हाफ ऑफ द सेम थिंग्स आर इक्वल टू वन अनदर. अगर किसी दो इक्वल क्वांटिटी को हाफ करते हो, दे आर ऑल्सो इक्वल टू ईच अदर. राइट फ्रेंड्स, आई थिंक जितनी भी बातें हमने डिस्कस की हैं इस इंट्रोडक्शन टू यूक्लिड्स ज्योमेट्री में, जैसा कि मैंने आपको पहले ही आपको एक्सप्लेन किया है कि दिस इंट्रोडक्शन टू यूक्लिड्स ज्योमेट्री, दिस इज टोटली बेस्ड ऑन द थियोरेटिकल पार्ट ऑफ ज्योमेट्री. थियोरेटिकल पार्ट ऑफ ज्योमेट्री मीन्स द बेसिक टर्म्स and its definitions, its understanding part, they all are given in this, so that your geometry part can be good, understood. And here, as you know that I told you that the father of geometry is also called Euclid. So Euclid was the father of geometry. In this we have discussed about the Pythagoras also, Pluto also, right? So you have to read about those mathematicians which were mentioned in this chapter. Okay friends, right? So after getting the meaning of this, is as it was the brief introduction, so let us start the next part which is given in your textbook. So are you ready? So dear students, if you have not subscribed my channel, so please subscribe it for getting the latest update. Now let us see that principle of superposition, as we have discussed right now, the Euclid's fourth axiom. Euclid's fourth axiom is called principle of superposition. In this, it seems to say that, means that statement seems to say that what? Two things are identical. If two things are identical, then they are equal. In another word, everything is equal to itself. If two things are identical, then both the things are said to be equal. Are everything is equal to itself. This is the principle of superposition, right? Okay, now the definition of greater than he has given. Euclid's fifth axiom is called the definition of greater than. What is this? In this, if a quantity B is a part of another quantity A, but obvious, if B is a part of another quantity A, then A will be greater than B. Therefore, A can be written as the sum of B and the third quantity C. Symbolically, it is written as A is greater than B, or A is greater than C, or A is equals to B plus C. So friends, I think these things are easy. We have discussed it. It is the second chance I am explaining you. So you have to be careful and learn these things carefully, right? So that you can give the answer of questions which is asked there in your question. Okay, let's see the Euclid's 5 postulates. Now we have discussed axioms, we have discussed definitions. So we come on the next important part, Euclid's 5 postulates, which are very famous. Those things we have to discuss. Okay, so as we have discussed, postulate and axioms, they are having the same sense, means their meanings are same, but postulate is different, a little bit different with the axioms, right? So what is the difference between postulate and axioms? Postulate is totally based on the geometry, means postulate word is used only in the geometry, not for the common thing. For the common thing, axiom is used for the universal truth. Let's see what is given the Euclid's first postulate. In this, a straight line may be drawn from one point to any other point. So the first postulate of Euclid is a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. Right, friends? So let us understand the meaning of this first postulate of Euclid's. What is given? A straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. It means you have 2 points. You have 2 points, point A and point B. So, dear friends, as you have read, from 2 given points, we can draw one and only one straight lines. So, हमने क्या पढ़ा है अपने previous classes में कि from 2 given points, we can draw one and only one straight line. So, it is also known as that given 2 distinct points, there is a from given 2 distinct point, from given 2 distinct points, we can draw one and only one line, right? So what you are knowing about this Euclid's first postulate, he has given a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. This is also known as from given 2 distinct points, we can draw one and only one line. Understood? And this you have read in your previous class also. Okay, so dear students, from one given points, what you can say? From one given points, we can say that we can draw infinite number of lines from one given. In the second postulate of Euclid's, it is given that a terminated line can be drawn infinitely in both the direction. What is given? A terminated line can be produced infinitely. So the second postulate of the Euclid's is a terminated line can be produced infinitely. A terminated line can be produced infinitely. So the meaning of this, first of all, we have to understand what is a terminated line. Means a line which is terminated, means that it is a part of a line, or a terminated line can also be known as line segment. Now this was the line, it is terminated at point A and B. Now it is given that what it is saying, it can produced infinitely in both the direction. So दोनों ही direction में इसको, in this direction also we can produce, in this direction also we can produce. That's it is the meaning of this second postulate of Euclid. A terminated line can be produced infinitely in both the direction. Clear? Any problem? Third postulate of Euclid. In this third postulate, he is saying that a circle can be drawn, with any center of any radius. What he has given the third postulate, a circle can be drawn with any center of any radius. Means if you have taken a center, this is, so you can draw a circle. This is the center you have taken, you can draw, this is. So centers are different and radii are also the different. Okay, so we can draw a center with circle with any of the center and of any of the radius. So a circle can be drawn with any center of any radius. This is Euclid's third postulate, right? So in Euclid's fourth postulate, all right angles are equal to one another. All right angles are equal to one another. So fourth postulate, all right angles are equal to one another. All right angles are equal to one another. So first of all, we should know what are the right angles. So right angles means an angle whose measure is equals to 90 degrees called right angle. So any of the right angle, if this is right angle drawn, they are equal to each other. Right angle drawn, so but obvious they will be equal to each other. So his fourth postulate tells that all right angles are equal to one another. So as the measure of these angles is 90 degrees, so but obvious they will be equal to each other, right? So let us discuss the Euclid's fifth postulate, which is very important, or you can say very famous also, because it has its equivalent version also, right? So what is Euclid's fifth postulate and what is its equivalent version? You have to understand the concept of these fifth postulate. Euclid's fifth postulate, this postulate number 5 tells you that if a straight line falls on two straight line, if a straight line falls on the two straight lines, means this straight line PQ falls on these two straight lines, makes the interior angles, means these are the interior angles, angle 1 and angle 2. If a straight line PQ falls on two straight lines AB and CD, then makes the interior angles 1 and 2 on the same side of taken together is less than two right angles. Now let us understand the concept of two right angle. As you know that right angle is called 90 degree. So one right angle is 90 degree. So is equals to 90. Therefore two right angles. So two right angles is equals to 180 degree. So if the sum of these two interior angles is less than two right angle, if it is sum of these two angle is less than two right angle, then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side which the sum of angles is less than two right angles. Means what he is saying in this statement is, so just understand the concept. This line PQ falls on these two straight lines, making these two interior angles on the same side of transversal. Clear हुआ concept? If the sum of these two angles is less than 180 degree, means angle 1 plus angle 2 is less than 180. 180 means two right angles. This is two right angles. Clear? Means if the sum of these two angle is less than two right angle, means 180, then the lines this produced, means when we produce these two lines in this direction, so they will meet at some point. क्लियर हुआ कॉन्सेप्ट कि नहीं? अगर इन दोनों एंगल्स का सम 180 से लेस होता है, कम होता है, तो ये इसी डायरेक्शन में अगर प्रोड्यूस किए जाएंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं ये इंटरसेक्ट जरूर करेंगे. जस्ट अपोजिट इफ यू विल टेक, suppose this is the angle 3 and angle 4 are angle 3 and angle 4 it is, and by seeing you can say that the sum of these two angle is greater than 180, means greater than two right angles. If the sum of these two angle is greater than two right angle, then when you produce these two straight lines in this direction, they are not to be intersect at any point. ये किसी भी स्पेस में कहीं भी किसी पॉइंट पे इंटरसेक्ट नहीं करने वाले. राइट? ओके. सो if the sum of these two angle is less than 180, they will intersect in this direction. This is the meaning of this statement. Right? Okay friends, if you can say the sum of these two angle is equals to 180, so these two lines will be parallel to each other. Right? In this condition, AB and CD are said to be intersecting lines. But in which direction? In this direction, where the sum of these two angle is less than 180. If the sum of these two angle is 180 degree, so the lines AB will be parallel to CD. So AB और CD दोनों parallel होंगे. Clear हुआ concept? If the sum of these two lines is equals to 180, then AB will be parallel to CD. Okay, if the sum of these two angle is greater than 180, then they are also said to be intersecting lines. Got the concept? Means if the sum of angle 1 and angle 2 is greater than 180 degree, then these lines are intersecting. AB and CD are intersecting lines. Got it? The meaning of this fifth postulate. इसका इक्विवेलेंट वर्जन भी दिया गया है, वो हम आपको नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में डिस्कस करेंगे.